late. There's been a lot going on professionally, personally, all areas of my life. So apologies for being a little bit later. I usually come on live every weekend, don't I? But I'm here now. And to make up for it, I've changed my tarot setup for you. So we're well into the autumnal vibes now. And Halloween is my favourite. It's my absolute favourite festival now. Growing up, it was Christmas. Now it's Halloween. I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, I'll show you my little setup. I've got cinnamon chai woodwick candles from last year, warm wool candles from last year. Very, very nice. Okay, so I'll probably keep it like this for a while. Let's just make sure that you can see the cards on the table, because that's the most important thing. Oh my god. Okay, so my work contract completed, so I've been getting signed up with the agency again. And also CapCut decided that it wasn't going to work. That's what I used to edit all my videos. It wanted me to pay $21.99 a month. Absolutely not. That's not happening. And it wouldn't let me do the things that I've been doing, for a long time, like no problem. So then I tried to get rid of the app, and then it was like, oh, actually, maybe it's okay. So little scoundrels, not okay with that. But that's sorted. That's why one of my videos from last week's AllSigns looks very different to the others, because I thought I wasn't going to be able to use that font anymore and the special effects anymore, but I can't. So whatever. Had that, and then my twin flame returned after a year and a half of no contact, and it's down to both of us. But it's really weird because we've actually been trying to get in touch with each other over the last month or so, each at different times during Mercury retrograde, in fact. So, and I thought nothing would have changed with him, and it turns out everything's changed. So it's just been a lot. Been a lot. So yeah, feeling good. We're back on top of things. I'm going to actually close the windows because it's really cold today. I just need the sage to go out. Where's the deck that I'm using? Where's the deck that I'm using today? What is going on? They're not in that box, are they? What have I done with them? It's highly unprofessional of me. Where's the... Oh, I'm so confused. I've got everything set up. Where have I put the deck that I'm using? Oh my god. Am I being blind? Are they like on here under my... No, I don't want to move everything because it's all perfect. Not in there. It's the Kinner deck. Where have I put it? Oh. Jenny, what on earth are you playing at? If I put them in another box accidentally? Yeah, so that's why I'm a few days late. There's been a lot going on. And I've just been sat with the same facial expression for a week. Like, what is going on? I'm going to have to lift this up. No, it's not under there. I had it on the blooming desk. What? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Oh, that's really embarrassing. It has to be that deck because it's a spooky deck. I was having a big tidy up in my room yesterday. Right, I'm going to move my chair. I'll put them in there. What on earth? What on earth have I done? That's so weird. Not in there, not in there. Oh my god, what is going on with me? They're right in front of me. Oh, this is what I've been like for the last week. I was trying to make pottery last night and I just was messing everything up. I was trying to trim pots that I've already made that are leather hard. I can't think straight. I'm making stupid mistakes because of this twin flame returning, so sorry about that. Hi, Jan. I've got the cards now. I'm closing the windows. It's absolutely freezing. Oh well, it's given everyone a chance to come in, hasn't it? Just edit that out. Oh yeah, have you not watched tarot before? Okay, let's shuffle the cards. These are so nice. This is the Kinner Tarot deck, and let's just move that sage out of the shot so it's focusing on that. They're like spooky looking. Everything's like skeletons, but then they're a nice deck because they're not too broad. I can't shuffle things. I've got small hands and I can't shuffle things that are like too broad. In fact, I can't remember how to shuffle now because I've just been having to drop the cards like this because I've been using massive decks. I can't even remember how to shuffle. So we're going to start off with Aries. Watch the sign, your sign or your person's sign. You're welcome to watch your moon sign or your other placements as well. Sometimes, because I'm an Aries cusper, I'm Taurus, but I cusp with Aries. Sometimes Aries readings resonate for me, even more than Taurus ones, which is odd. Let's see if we can... Actually, maybe, yeah, these are two. These are maybe too thin for me to shuffle. Let's try this way. I've just done these nails, so I don't want them coming off. There we go. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aries' highest good. How is Aries feeling in this second week of September 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? So I'll get 3 cards for your feelings, first of all, Aries. I'll get 3 cards for your person's feelings. How are they feeling right now? And 3 for the outcome. I'll use oracle decks to clarify why they feel the way that they feel. I'll get messages from them, and I'll get you some advice from spirit as well. I don't know why you're asking that question, David. It seems odd. You're Aquarius. Hi, Christine. You're Cancer. Nice one. Yeah, so just in case you're new to the channel, it'll be a 9-card spread. Okay, I'll clarify why they feel the way they feel, get messages from them, and I'll get you some advice cards as well. I can get you divine timing messages if spirit wants you to know when things are going to come together. Now, it could be someone that you're thinking about, someone that you're actually already dealing with, or someone that you're manifesting in the future if you're not dealing with anyone, okay? So 3 cards for Aries first of all. I'll go in zodiac order, and the readings will be about 40 minutes each. So it's up to you if you want to hang around or if you want to go and pop back in a bit later. Right, Aries, you've got the Fool reversed. So this is Aries energy, but the Fool card is a reset at 0. Okay, so when that's reversed, it's about... Well, when it's upright, it's wanting to take a leap of faith into a new chapter. Sorry, my tummy's rumbling. When it's reversed, it's either refusal to take a leap of faith because we're looking before we leap and we don't like what we're seeing. Or it's reckless abandon, and it's the total opposite of that. It's this card accentuated when it's reversed. So it could be, I'm not going to leap, or it could be, screw it, this is like stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like very over the top, impulsive, reckless, like absolutely reckless decision. So we'll know by the other cards that come out, okay? The Four of Cups reversed, okay, that's a positive reversal. So when it's upright, the Four of Cups is not good. The Four of Cups is like, cups are emotions, and when a cup is offered towards us, we're going to reject it, okay? When someone approaches us to flirt, we're not interested, you know, or if someone messages us or slides into the DMs, we ignore it, or you reply to them with one-word answers. It's that you're just not open to... Do you know what I mean? You're not really looking for anything right now. When it's usually because you've been hurt recently, or you know, you're just not, you're focused on career or something. When it's reversed though, it's becoming open to offers again. Okay, offers of emotion, offers of affection in a love sense. Let's get one more for your feelings. The Magician reversed. So the Magician card, when it's upright, is I've got all 4 aces. I've got the Ace of Cups. I'm emotionally intelligent. I've got the ability to forgive and forget. I've got the ability to be patient, that kind of thing. It's I've got the Ace of Swords. I'm intelligent. I'm strategic. I can make a plan, you know, and not act just on impulse, or you know, recklessly. Like I'll find out all the facts and I'll do my research first. I can be humanitarian and think of others. Okay, so that's Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords. Ace of Wands is like I'm highly motivated, I'm ambitious, I'm goal orientated, I like to take action. I can make things happen, you know, with actions. Ace of, what have I left out? Ace of Pentacles is, you know, I've got the financial means, I've got a large amount of savings, or I've got a great credit score, or like, you know, I've got the means to, maybe I've got high income and I've got the means to, you know, provide a level up, like an offer of something that would involve joining assets together, or like, you know, level up financially. So when you've got all four aces, you are the magician. You are able to make things happen because you have all the ingredients for the recipe. You have all the, you know, personal qualities. You have luck from the universe. When it's reversed, it's like I can't make this happen. Like, for the life of me, I cannot. I don't have, there's something missing. Maybe I've got 3 of these aces, but one of the things is missing. Maybe I'm too bitter and jaded at the moment. Maybe I'm too, you know, maybe I'm in between jobs at the moment, or maybe I'm not well at the moment, or maybe I'm, I don't know, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm in debt, or I've got a gambling addiction. It's like there's something off that would stop this from being a possibility at the moment. So that's, it's a quite a pessimistic set of cards, that, because it's not willing to leap. We're sort of becoming more open. It's a bit like a timeline, you know, it's more recent the closer it gets to us. Then it's like I'm slightly becoming more open. It's like you don't want to take the risk when it comes to taking a leap, but you're becoming slightly more emotionally available. And then it's like, we haven't really practically got the situation, the circumstances to make anything work right now. Let's see who comes up for you in the reading. Let's see what their feelings are, whether it's someone you're thinking about, or someone you're currently actually dealing with, or someone that you're manifesting in the future. Let's have a look. How are they feeling? The Moon card reversed. So there's also a reluctance on their end, and this is more water energy. This is fear. This is, the Moon is the major arcana for Pisces. That's all about emotions, being afraid of the dark, being afraid of what's not illuminated. You know, when we don't know what's ahead, we can live with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. We can refuse to move, you know, for fear of what's ahead. In the story of the major arcana, the Fool realizes that even though we don't have all the answers, even though we don't know how things are going to go, we must walk forwards anyway. Okay, so when it's upright, it's like, I'm scared, but I'm going to proceed anyway. It's a card of emotions, heavy emotions, heavy water. You can see this person's got like a cup. They're in the woods at night. That, you know, all the emotions are dripping down from the moon, and they're like holding up a cup to catch them. I really like the artwork on these. When that's reversed, it's like, well, I'm too scared. Yeah, I'm not going to walk forwards, actually. It's that kind of like reluctancy. Okay, let's get that other card. Now, one fluttered down. It's the Page of Pentacles. This goes so well, guys. Tarot freaks me out, but in a good way. The Page of Pentacles has landed sideways, which is the challenge position. And it's in combination with the Chariot reversed. Now, the Chariot, when it's upright, is, you know, it's an emperor that gets into a chariot, and chariots have a hard protective outer shell, and they have wheels to travel, okay, or they have horses to pull them along. It's jumping into that chariot when it's upright. You're trying to with all your might, go and either protect and defend or aggressively attack and obtain some sort of victory, okay? Or defeat, protect and defeat something. So it's literally movement. It's going out of your way with all your might to achieve something. Now, with the Chariot reverse, that could be failure, loss or defeat at the last minute, or it could be, I'm not moving this Chariot, I'm halting these horses, I'm putting the brakes on, I'm not going anywhere, okay? So it could be that there's been an attempt, but with the card that we had, there's a lot of fear there, so I would say it's not failure, I would say it's more, I'm not going to try, because the Page of Pentacles is, I would like to take someone on a date, yeah, I'm curious about them, I would like to spend a bit of time, money and energy, you know, just to communicate, just to spend some time with them. You think about it, to go on a date, it costs you money, you're giving up some of your time, some of your energy. It's an investment, it's a small one, but it's like, let's just see. But that's in the challenge position, so are we going to see? Are we going to give it a chance? And get to know someone, and then that horse is halted. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're holding ourselves back. On this side of the spread, this person is holding themselves back, and it's out of fear. That's what that tells me. Whereas with you, you're becoming emotionally available, but you're not afraid. It's more like there's some sort of practical issue. You know, you might have kids that wouldn't be happy with it, or you might have, you know, you might be recovering from something that you've gone through, and then so you're not ready, or you might not have the finances. You don't want to offer yourself towards people if you don't have your ducks in a row. So, you know, there's lots of reasons why people don't want to date. Sometimes your confidence is low about how you look, and you just think, I got to sort my shit out before I approach anyone. The Two of Cups. This is with regards to a new love. 2 is the beginning of a cycle, okay? So if it was 6 of Cups, I'd say it's a soulmate, and you've known each other for a long time. If it was 8 of Cups, I would say it's a relationship that's been very established, like decades together, and you know, you've got kids together and you want to leave, or you're living together and it's just very, very exclusive, very locked in, and you know, the 2 is the beginning. It's like when you've been dating someone and you both fall in love. It's just at the start. So someone's really afraid to invest, they're holding back even though they're in love. Okay, so we've learned a lot on this side. We've learned a lot about your person. I think it's someone that you already know. It's someone that you already know, because we've got the 2 of Cups, so they're in love. They're just afraid. They're afraid to invest. They don't know whether to ask you out, or you've already been dating. They don't know whether to offer you to be exclusive. They don't know whether to go steady. On your side, it's more like, how would this work, like practically? These are collective readings, okay? So I just read for the sign, and then you need to go and watch your sign or the sign of your person. I will start doing, when I get 4,000 watch hours, which I'm not far off, I can do, you know, live question and answer sessions, but I can't do that yet. So you just need to watch your, or you can pay for a personal reading. It's £18 and I'll do you at least 20 minutes. It's usually more, just because I choose to, you know, find out as much as I can for you. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can email me. The details are on my channel description, or on my TikTok. You can private message me, and I'll record a video for you, and then you can just watch it. Like, it'll be a link to a private YouTube video that only you can see. If I do one card for you, then I'll have to do it for everyone, and I'll be here forever, and I don't get paid for it. So the way that I help people the most is by doing a collective reading by zodiac sign. And I swear the narrative is what you need to know. You need to know what's going on with your person long term. You've got to follow the narrative of how they're feeling, because people's circumstances change month to month, and how people feel about things, whether something's possible or not, changes. It's all transient, so there's no point just pulling a card for right now, and I'm not going to interrupt my business to do that for one person, because then everyone will think they can have that, and it's ruining the channel if I do that. I can't. This is how I help the most people. And the more I talk to you, the less the cards are going to come out, so I'm going to not talk now. 3 for the outcome, please. Right, in the challenge position for the outcome, we've got the 6 of Wands. Now, that's a card of victory, success. It's recognition. So it's like, I'm getting attention from my person. I'm being viewed as I'm being viewed as attractive. You know, they're noticing like my new hair, or they're noticing like that I'm in the same room, or like, you know, there's little glances, or like, it's when you feel celebrated. You know, it's prancing through the town like on a horse, like, and everyone's clapping and cheering because you've had a recent victory, or you just feel like the center of attention. And usually in a love reading, it's because our person's paying us attention. So with that as the challenge, it's like, I'm not getting the attention that I want, or will I get the attention that I want? Or how do I get the attention that I want? So let's get 2 more. Okay, it's a combination. The love is reversed and the world reversed. There's a lot of pessimism here. So much pessimism. Let's talk about each card. So if these were upright, the World card in the story of the major arcana, the Fool realizes that even though things have been really tough, even though things have been incredibly challenging, they're not going to be anymore. You know, after a trough comes a peak. After a low comes a high. It has to go like that. So yeah, it's a card of like being a hopeless romantic, or, you know, a realist understands that there's glass half empty and glass half full, depending on how we look at it. You know, you appreciate that it's been a really shitty time, and better days have to, you know, by logic, they have to come next. That's how life is, isn't it? It's ups and downs. You know, that shooting star, we're looking out of our fortress and we're just waiting for that better day to come, you know, for our luck to change. The Lovers, and we believe that it will. The Lovers card is 2 people. It's different to the 2 of Cups, because the Lovers card is soulmates that are destined to be together. You know, this would be divinely guided. They're a fantastic match. You know, you can fall in love with anyone. Yeah, it's easy to fall in love, but when you're meant to live out a soul contract with each other because you've been guided towards each other by someone, you know, someone who is part of source, it could be a relative that's passed away, or someone that you don't know, you know, that's now a higher being. The universe, you know, is causing 2 people to come together, and it's supposed to happen, and they're supposed to have, you know, a very serious connection, very serious relationship, very exclusive relationship. It's the major arcana for Gemini. in the 5D, the two of you agreed to have a soul contract together, so it will play out, and if it doesn't in this lifetime, it'll play out in the next, okay? When these are reversed, the love is reversed is like when one person loves and the other doesn't, and the World card reversed is like things are just going to stay rubbish because they've been rubbish for ages. It's just going to continue being like this. We're not going to be able to be together. It's huge pessimism here, and believing that, you know, this person doesn't know we exist, or they don't anymore, or, well, you know, on your side, Aries, it's like, well, we can't be together anyway, because how would it work? And on their side, they're just afraid of like investment, even though they're completely in love. They're holding themselves back out of fear. So they could be a Cancer because we've got the major for Cancer. They could be a Pisces because we've got the major for Pisces. They could be a Gemini. They don't have to be any of those things though, okay? They were a combination, so we need one more for the outcome. It's a combination again. Let's have a look. The Page of Cups reversed with the Knight of Wands reversed. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of sexual energy and desire. Okay, it's over the top. So it's not for lack of wanting. And remember, we've got this desire to be noticed. And we've got the fact that we are already in love. The Two of Cups upright. Okay, so, but this fear. And the Page of Cups reverse is like, I'm not going to tell this person like how I feel about them. Maybe they know that for some reason, maybe you're mature and you've got kids, so you've got responsibilities, elderly parents that you look after, a high-powered job that's very demanding, you know, a homeowner. Maybe you've got that much on your plate that it would have to be like practical, you know, to even consider it, Aries. So, you could just be someone who's quite mature, got a lot going on, and therefore you're holding back. But with them, it's like they're afraid. So it could be quite intimidating to them if they were younger, or they were just a bit less mature, or they were less, you know, used to having like all these practical things to consider. Like they may feel like they won't be taken seriously, even though there's all this passion, they're already in love. They're very, very afraid, and they're really holding themselves back from expression of emotion and asking you out or continuing to date you, or offering, you know, an offer might be, I'll move in with you and I'll become like a step parent to your children, or like, you know, a younger person might feel embarrassed to do that, or you know, because maybe they worry that you won't take them seriously, or that you'll think they're trying to live off or something. Let's find out, because we're just guessing at the moment, aren't we? Crumbling. What you've built feels like it's falling apart. It's okay. You have the strength to build anew. Peaceful parallel, harmony flows, lives aligned, basking in the serene glow of peace. Peaceful parallel. And we've got the Lovers card and the World card. Something divinely guided is happening here. There's a wider picture that you're not aware of. If you zoom out from planet Earth and you go, you know, further and further back till you're like outer space, that's how wide a picture I'm talking about. Things that are bigger than us, things that are bigger than, you know, this human reality, human civilization that we've created, where we're worried about bills, we're worried about mortgages, we're worried about what we look like, everything ego driven. Zoom out. Okay, you need to zoom out further. You're just a dot. You're insignificant. There's things going on that are more powerful than what's happening in politics, more powerful than what, are the laws of nature. This is ethereal now. This is spirit, and everything's going to be aligned so that you two will be together. You don't have to worry about it. It's just already, the contract's already signed, like you already signed it before you were born. It's a done deal. Just how, fear and practical situations make us think that nothing's possible, but it's a matter of time. And it doesn't mean it's going to be smooth sailing, and it doesn't mean it's going to come together in the first 5 years that you know each other. But it could be that you come back together, like it's happened to me, Putting on a show. Yeah, they're worried about looking foolish, They're worried about looking stupid. They're so afraid to put themselves out there when it comes to you. Afraid of offering something, afraid of... It's ego-based, okay? It's ego-based. They're worried you won't take them seriously. I mean, you are an emperor, so it's very intimidating. Aries don't mess about. Like, they say it how it is. They've got high expectations for themselves. They've got high expectations for others. And they're not really going to sugarcoat or pamper anyone. My sister's an Aries and she's fantastic. A very caring person. But sometimes, like, I expect, the kind of empathy or sympathy that I get from other people that I know who are different signs, and it's not quite the same. It's, it's a more kind of like attitude, like, well, they just need to get on with it, don't they? They need to get over themselves. You're like, okay. That emperor, like, so stoic that it's like intimidating. But an emperor has to be stoic because they've got a lot of responsibility, right? I think they're like high-key intimidated. Right, we've got a few things here. This is the unspoken truth now. Those seemingly coincidental events are actually prearranged. I told you, peaceful parallel. Coincidences are not really just coincidences, okay? Some things aren't about you not being good enough. They're just not right for you. Ooh, if the shoe fits. Perhaps this person's got low confidence because it didn't work out, with other people previously. And it's, you can get really insecure. Like, I was insecure from young because my most serious boyfriend in my early 20s, my first serious boyfriend, rejected me because I wasn't earning enough money, and he wasn't prepared to wait. He's like, well, I'm ready now. I want a mortgage now. And it wasn't a better way to live. He was putting a lot of pressure on himself, but he was a fire sign. He had very high expectations for other people as well. And that's another story, but he's being controlled by his parents that were really, really pushing him to do that. Sociopathic mother, but it's not really a message for you. It's a message for this person. Okay, they're insecure. They've got a low self-esteem, and it's potentially because someone's made them feel that they're not good enough. They may have even said it. You can't even, do this, or you can't even do that. That's other people projecting their shit, but it hurts. I've made it my life's work now to focus on my career, and that comes before anything, because what people say to you in your formative years hurts. You never get rid of that. Like, whatever they said, you can hear it like it was yesterday. I looked perfect. I was young. I was looking great. I took really good care of myself, and I was such a kind person. I've been a great mother, and he just made me feel like shit. I wasn't a lazy person. I was working and I was doing everything in the house, which is a lot. That's house management, you know what I mean? And I never asked for any money off him or anything, but he made me feel like I wasn't good enough and literally just swapped me for someone that was ready to get a mortgage, you know, and I would have done anything for him, like anything for him, but I needed more time. I just needed a few more years. But he had certain plans and he wasn't ready to wait, you know, and his family weren't ready to wait. So it's like, okay, that didn't turn out well for him. You know, he's got his own issues, but I'm just like that's never left me. You know, that's affected my confidence, my self-esteem, my like how people view me. I worry about that aspect of me like all the time. And that's because it was projected onto me, but without spending ages on that, that's what was always told to him, you know, to control him, to get him to do certain things by the people that he looks up to that are supposed to encourage him and support him. That he knows don't even love him because he said that to me. I never said it to him, but he said it to me, which is sad, but that's another. There are things I never got the chance to tell you. They might not have told you that they're in love with you, or they might not have told you, you know, that they have confidence issues. It doesn't mean that they can't be a fantastic provider. I'm a fantastic provider now, and I still feel like I'm not. I'll probably feel like that till the day I die now. You know what I mean? And the joke is, I actually really require security because I'm a Taurus. Like, I love to have money in the bank. I love to have money coming in. I love to spend money on other people. I'm very generous. It's not that I don't care about money, but what I was working as doesn't make a lot of money. You know, working with children doesn't make a lot of money. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person or you won't make more money one day, but it takes a long time to make good money working with young people. You're not really doing it for the money, do you know what I mean? It's a vocation, so, well, anyway. You can see that I'm scarred from it. Let's get our no contact message. I think it's all been, it's been a bit of a narrative that throughout my life. It's been the making of me, really. I think that's something to do like with a personal journey. I don't know if it's a Taurus thing or just a me thing. I don't know enough to kind of like know the reason why that's my life lesson, but I feel like that's my main lesson in life is to learn that. How to be independent financially, you know. And to have more confidence in myself. You're mysterious. I can never seem to figure you out. Sometimes I feel like you're hiding something from me. Never really know where I stand with you. Well, how do they, this is so me, how do they expect to know how you feel about them if they're not prepared to put themselves out there? Do you know what I mean? Like, this person wants reassurance. They want assurance. They want security. They want the security of knowing that you are in love with them and you want to be with them before they say, yeah, I'm in love with you too. And I do that. That's exactly what I do. I want the other person to say it first, even though I know I'm feeling it. I want them to say it first because I'm scared of rejection. It's a confidence issue. Again, doesn't mean they're a bad person. Okay, some people are not arrogant, and it's not attractive when people are. Confidence is sexy, arrogance isn't. And you can make someone be the best version of themselves by making them feel assured, by making them feel confident, by saying it first. You know, then they become, you know, like the best version of themselves. It can be the making of someone. You just have to give them a chance. And sometimes you need to be patient. As a fire sign, it's not always your best feature, you know what I mean? It's not your strong point to be patient. It's not your strong point to be careful necessarily with what you say to people. It's not something you find attractive if you need to wait for someone to develop their career, or do you know what I mean? What's the nature of this connection, please? Be optimistic. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You can't attract love with a negative mindset. I think that's a message for both of you, you know. I think we should slow down. Well, they've got the Chariot reversed, so they've made that happen. They've slowed things down, but it doesn't mean it's over. Do you know what I mean? I have so much desire for you. Well, yeah, they do, because they got the Knight of Wands. And they got the Two of Cups. They're in love with you. Oh, it's really... I feel bad for this person, guys. Like, I'm rooting for them. I really am. Because I've been that person. And it doesn't mean there's an age gap. It could just be that, you know, when you're younger, like, especially if you're early 20s, you know, the first ones out of your mates, or like your first like boyfriend's got a really good job, really good salary first, like you just feel like you're low down, you feel like you're not good enough to be with them or whatever. And some people are quite happy to let you feel that way. Do you know what I mean? So it can be like your own insecurity that you've got anyway, and then it's compounded by what someone else says to you. What do I want first? Hang on. This is advice. I don't want to make this too long. Advice for Aries, please. Advice for Aries. Alignment. Align your energy. Crystals can heal and amplify your intentions. We've had alignment twice, you know. Be optimistic. Peaceful parallel. Harmony flows, lives aligned. And then you've got alignment. Things... yeah, they're just unconfident, and you're like focusing a bit too much on like status or practicality. Move on. Whatever negative mindset you've been stuck in, move on from it, okay? Let's get a time in. When this comes together, when will it be? Because it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. It's just your mindsets, both of you, for different reasons. You put like the brakes on. Don't force things. Okay, so the universe is working its magic. When the timing is right, events will be coordinated to bring you two together. Remember what I said about zooming out? Right, out to outer space, okay, cosmos vibes. You are dots, okay? This was pre-arranged, pre-signed contracts before you were born. When you're in the 5D, this is going to happen, okay? But there's obviously some sort of financial or practical issue, legal issue, maturity, some kind of ascension needs to happen on both sides. Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's financial, but it's happening. It's happening, and I'm happy for you. I don't think it's a bad person. I think it's someone that you're already dealing with. But you're kind of like worried that they're too immature, or they're not kind of like in a position to really offer anything serious yet. Oh my God, a new opportunity will lead you to greatness. Hi, Avishek. Right, I'm going to leave that there. It's very, very positive, and I'm going to title it. What was that? This one, be optimistic. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You can't attract love with a negative mindset. I want to call it that. Let me jot it down. Okay, so we're going to move on to Taurus. Aries, if you liked this reading, if you feel that it resonates, or you think there's an Aries that you know that it would resonate with, please give the reading a like, share the reading, share the channel, subscribe, follow, repost, hype me up. I really need it. There's been a lull since it was August holidays. In the UK, I think a lot of people were just away or something. But yeah, I could do with getting into the algorithm again. So do your best, please. It's absolutely free to like. It's absolutely free to share the channel. It's absolutely free to hype me. I think you can do 3 hypes a week though, so it's meant to like support the smaller creators, like newer channels and stuff. The hype thing, like we don't need to be hyping the larger channels. Help a girl out if you want your live Q&As. Help a girl out. Oops, that's on the wrong pile. I'm a full-time teacher, you see, so this is like, something I do on top of that, which if you know a teacher, you know. Very, very difficult to do another job on top of that, but I'm doing it. Right, Taurus, bull gang. I'm so intrigued to see what comes out, because I know what's going down with me, and I know what's going down with another Taurus that I know, so I can't wait to see what comes out. Okay, let's have a little shuffle. It was weird. Queen of Swords, like it was. I'm not like a magician with cards, but that card just placed itself in my hand. Like, have a look at this. Queen of Swords. Oops. So I don't know if that's an omen or what. That's a divorce card, by the way. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Taurus's highest good. How is Taurus feeling in this second week of September 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards for Taurus. How is Taurus feeling, first of all, please? The Hierophant reversed. Okay, Taurus, you are terrified that you are not being very wise. Okay, because the card, the Hierophant, is your major arcana. And it's about having such life experience, having such a depth and variety of experiences under your belt. Hard ones. Very, very, a lot of adversity, a lot of negative situations, things that you've been emotionally burned and had to recover from. Perhaps you danced with the devil more than once and you've realised, you get your fingers burned. So this is about no longer being foolish, no longer taking risks, no longer trusting the wrong people or ignoring red flags. This is like, I don't want other people to suffer the way that I've suffered. I'm no longer the student, I'm now the teacher, and I want to tell other people about what's happened to me so that I may save them from making similar mistakes, okay? See, this is a card of wisdom, and when it's reversed, there's a sense of you're either feeling just not yourself or you're worried that you're being unwise, okay? So you might feel very vulnerable with a decision that you've made or something you've been doing. Okay, so we've got, let's read from the back. We've got the 5 of Swords, which is arguments. What's that? The 7 of Wands reversed, being at a disadvantage. The Hermit reversed. Now, this may not have already happened because we're obviously reading for the week ahead, and timelines can be relevant 2 weeks ahead, 2 weeks behind also. But the Hermit is a card of reflection, okay? So we either need to come out of Hermit mood or we need to go into Hermit mood and look within. But there's a sense of miscommunication, fallouts, crossed wires, misunderstandings, and then feeling at a loss, feeling at a disadvantage, feeling like we haven't got the high ground, we can't win the argument, we're at a disadvantage. Because the Hermit card is the major arcana for Virgo, and this is about reflection, deep introspection, soul searching, isolation, deliberately isolating yourself from lovers so that you can look within. And you may not be that communicative about what you're going through with others, but it's like the answers lie within you. The Fool realizes that the answers lie within him. So it's no use going, what do I feel about this situation, to other people. Only you know how you feel about it. Only you know what you want. You know what I mean? Only you know what part was yours and what part was someone else's. Ooh, that's just clicked now. Yeah, there could be a reluctance to be honest with yourself, Taurus, about how you've handled something. You could have had someone on block. You could have said quite harsh things, quite harsh, so Taurus likes to deliver the truth. We're very nice. We can make people feel really comfortable, and a lot of people want to open up to me. But if I've already said what I think about a situation because they asked me for my advice or what I thought about something, I'm not going to keep answering that question. I'm not going to come up with anything different. I know how I feel about it, and I will tell you straight. I get very frustrated with people that don't accept what I've said the first time. They're like, no, I'm going to ask you again because I want you to give a different answer. And it's like, but that's how I feel about it. It could get you into trouble. It could get you into trouble with this person, or it could have caused confusion because you haven't been entirely clear, about how you feel about something, or you could have given someone what for. And that's how you felt at the time, and all we can do is do what we feel is right at the time. But you may be feeling a bit like, well, I don't need to apologise, or I don't need to be the one to communicate first. It's a bit chess matchy. It's a bit like, no, it's the ball's in your court, or like it's your move now. Do you know what I mean? And then you might be thinking, shit, was that the right thing to do? Or that's the kind of thing that's coming across. And is that 8? 8 of Wands upright is fast action, progress, and fast communication. Wands are particularly about action. Okay, so things moving forward suddenly, where there could have been no communication or crossed wires, or there could have been off and on or arguments, or like, it's not going how we want it to go. Every time we communicate, we end up arguing and then we don't talk for ages, that kind of shit. Suddenly it's all go. So if you're waiting for change or movement or a sign or communication, it's happening. So this, like, right, your person's feelings. The World card, when it's upright, it's a major arcana, and in the story of the major arcana, the Fool realises that better days are coming. Just because it's been shitty and we're feeling rubbish, we look out the window, we see a shooting star, and we realise, like, we've got to take life rough with the smooth. Better days are going to come, okay? It's the pattern, isn't it? Life's full of ups and downs, and when you've had a sort of, like, shitty few things happen, you know that you're due a good turn, a good, like, period of good fortune. See, this is trusting that. Well, that's a cool design, isn't it? This is trusting. It's like a topographical map, that, or a fingerprint. Sorry, I get distracted by the artwork. What was I saying? We realise that better days are coming. It's a card that's optimistic when it's upright. When it's reversed, we feel like nothing's going to change. We feel pessimistic. We feel like it's just going to stay shitty. Do you know what I mean? So this person feels pessimistic, or did feel. Nothing else is upright there, is it? I don't think so. Queen of Cups reversed with the Knight of Swords upright. You know what that is, don't you? An urgent message. Shit. Look at this artwork. That's so cool. It's like a mythical bird, or dragon or something. Is flying along, and this person is armoured up and they're tooled up and they've got that arm high ready to, her hair's like flowing in the wind because they're going that fast. The clouds are just like, it's air energy, okay, so that's communication. and it's clarity. And that sword is going to cut through the lies, the crap, whatever it is, the fog, the confusion, the secrets. That is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and it's on its way rapid. Rapid. Okay, with the Queen of Cups reversed, this person could be like so emotional right now, like they cannot bear it anymore. Because when it's upright, this is a card of emotional intelligence, emotional balance, patient, understanding, forgiving, you know, a cool cucumber, but feet are going beneath the surface, but they'll just absorb the tension and never take it out on anyone. So it's a really nice vibe when it's upright. It's, you know, it's the Queen of Cups is like very, very nice, healing, calm, makes you feel like really comfortable, you know, like really nice nurturing vibes, forgiving vibes, patient. When it's reversed, it's like the person's either under emotional, like they've gone fully logical and they're not putting emotion into it, or the emotions are run wild with them. And I think it's that, because it's like, I can't keep my mouth shut, I've got to say something. This person has got to say something to you. They cannot take it anymore. They can't take it. They feel like it's the end of the world and nothing's going to change unless they get this off the chest. So you've got communication coming and rapid. They're going to make an offer. They're going to make an offer. They're feeling very impulsive. This is the major for Sagittarius, and when it's upright, it's a card of balance. Like, I'm level-headed right now. This is a good time to make an offer. This is like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm making the offer. Bloody hell. Right, let's get 3 for the outcome. They could be over eager, you know, but it's like they've needed to say this for so long. They've needed to speak to you for so long. Yeah, they cannot take it anymore. Like, they've got to say something. They want to make an offer. They want to come together. They want to be in a relationship with you. Like, Pentacles are investments of time, money, and energy. You know, they want to date you. With you know, dating with a view to, if it goes well, like having a relationship. In the outcome, there's heartbreak, heartache. Why? I don't like that. Why? Oh, 8 of Pentacles reversed. See the work tools here. When this is upright, this is hard work. Increments of time, money, and energy. Someone grafting, you know, adding more qualifications, adding more, you know, starting a side hustle, like getting more trades under their belt, taking on a professional course at uni or college or something. This is like, I will do whatever it takes to grow and expand this connection so that it can become, you know, financially secure. Like, the next step would be the 9 of Pentacles. So, you know, someone's in a really good position financially as an individual to pay their own way. 10 of Pentacles is coming together. Your finances, my finances together, creating lasting generational wealth. So there's an intention of growth and expansion when it's upright. When it's reversed, someone doesn't want to grow and expand it, and it's causing heartache for the other person. There's me thinking I'm going really well with my voice, and then I coughed. I just went super dry. I do talk a lot though. Oh my God. A tower moment is going to happen, and then there's going to be cooperation. That's what we need, okay? Major change, overwhelming change, overwhelmingly positive, guys, because the structure of this situation, whatever that may look like, whether you live separately, whether you were in a situationship, whether you two people that are dating, but, you know, for whatever reason, the communication was diabolical, okay, and you were misunderstanding each other and falling out with each other and having no contact periods. This person wants you. They want you. Like, they want you, okay? And whatever it was that was a problem is not going to be, because the foundation of this relationship, it couldn't have survived how it was, but this tower's going to fall. And that could be them doing it, it could be the universe doing it, or it could be you doing it, but I feel like it's more them, because there's this sense of urgency, there's this, you know, intention of growth and investment and heartbreak. So I feel like they believe their luck is never going to change until they cause this tower. So they're pulling down a foundation in order to create a sense of community, cooperation, working together to build and grow. This is like, I want to be a team now, and I'm going to make my practicable situation more practicable. I'm going to remove blocks, I'm going to remove challenges, and I don't care what it takes. I will end a marriage, I will move countries, I will, you know, leave my job, I will tell my family to fuck off, or like change religion. It's something major, guys. It's major. Towers are not, it's not like, oh, I'll wear a different outfit or I'll get a haircut or like, you know, it's like fucking serious. That is serious, that. It's Aries energy, fire energy, and then we've got earth energy with this like sense of building, cooperating, achieving beautiful things by coming together. Everyone's putting their pentacle in. The community are going to be on board with this, or you and them are going to be a team. It's just cooperation generally, whether that be, you know, sorting out people around them or sorting out their own, you know, lack of cooperation. It's on like Donkey Kong, guys. Like, why did they feel pessimistic? Why did they have the Fool, not the Fool, the World card reversed initially? Okay, they felt trapped in their current circumstances, whether they were alone in a flat by themselves or in a marriage or in a relationship. Whatever their situation was, they were just going through the motions, okay? They were not excited about it. They were not satisfied by it. They were not... When they look at the next 5 years or the next 10 years, they don't see themselves feeling fulfilled if they're honest with themselves, okay? Going through the motions, checked out, okay? So that they just felt like they're in a hole, and they could have been depressed. They don't have to have been, but it's quite real that you get depressed when you're in a situation you really don't want to be in. That's not going to be nice to undo. Okay, and that can happen with careers. It can happen with anything. You know, choosing a place to live, like in a different country, and then thinking, what the hell have I done here? So they were just checked out of the situation that they were in, whatever that was. You know, I've lived alone and hated it, you know. Lived with other people and hated it. It can feel like your own nightmare, do you know what I mean? Or you join a nightmare job and you're like, what on earth have I done here? They were going through the motions, they didn't want to be there. And it's not just boredom, it's that they'll obviously be like it's just done. Like what they're in, the contract's expired in their mind. It's done, and it's been done for a while. Okay. Moon Dreamer, love illuminates even the darkest of corners. So when you came along, Taurus, this person's world was illuminated. It's quite emotional, really. You are, for them, you are their shooting star. Okay, in a dark room, you're the lamplight. Maybe they didn't know that they were waiting for this, or maybe they did know that they were waiting for someone like you to come along, and it just kind of it meant that they needed to face the reality of their situation. You woke them up, okay, to the reality of their situation, and it was something that couldn't be ignored. They might have tried to ignore it for a long time, and it's not been possible. Okay, so they could have turned to alcohol, prescription drugs, smoking, any kind of illegal drugs. They could have been, like heavily abusing, anything to kind of, what do you call it, like what do you call it? Self-medicating. Yeah, self-medicating to just try to find excitement or try to cope with the stress and the strain of feeling like you're living a lie. It's very difficult for people who are in established situations to announce, I'm not happy with this anymore, or like, because you worry about hurting other people, you worry about finances, you worry about things going acrimonious, you worry about seeing your kids. You worry about judgment at work, judgment from bosses, people thinking you're unstable. You worry about friends. Like, it's all going to fucking change, okay? Everything's going to fucking change. So then you don't do anything, but then you feel like a fraud. You feel like you just checked out going through the motions or whatever. So this person was quite unhappy at the time that you arrived, and it may have amplified those feelings further. Once they realised, like, I'm attracted to someone else, it could have actually got worse, more mood swings and stuff like this, like they could be exhilarated by it in a way and then feel guilty or like overwhelmed in another way, like, great, now I've got other problems, or additional things to be stressed about, more chaos, more confusion. Not everyone feels like they can tell people that they want a divorce. Not everyone feels like parents will approve. It could be against their religion. It could be against their culture, and just their personal values. They could have very traditional family, very domineering family, or they just feel like it's going to cause like fucking chaos for whatever reason. Some people won't let you divorce them. They say, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not moving out. This isn't over. Do you know what I mean? So what do you do then? Okay, so they realised that they had fallen in love with someone outside of their own situation, or someone they can't be with for whatever reason, and it's just basically been hell for them. Well, say someone, you fell in love with you, self-medicating to cope with this mess that they're in. Losing you taught me love isn't about possession. Okay, so they could have kept you dangling and like thought, I can play this, like I can stay in my comfort zone and I can have you as well, like for excitement, or and then, you know, and then I've got everything and then I'll be fulfilled. But if there was a third party situation, there's no way that you as a married person can keep all the secrets, you know, keep all the responsibilities and entertain another person without that going haywire. One, you could get found out. Two, if you don't, they're not going to do that forever. They're not going to be in the dark. They're not going to keep getting sorries and text messages and phone calls saying, actually, I can't meet up today, or I can't see it, or, you know, they're not gonna, people don't put their own lives on pause for long. It's generally like less than a year and then it goes tits up, you know. And I would say like sooner than that, really. But you know, you only have to look at your own, look at the reasons why you felt like you were going through the motions. Why did you send that message or slide into their DMs? Why did you flirt with them overly, like in work? Why did you do whatever you did? There was a reason, like you felt like your marriage was over, or you felt like unhappy being by yourself, or you felt unhappy who you were dating, or there's a reason why people do stuff. It's not just out of nowhere that you break character. Okay, so I think they could have tried to keep you and their situation, whatever that was, whatever the reason was. Say, like, if you can't be with someone because you're supposed to meet someone else who's Jewish, or you're supposed to meet someone else who's Hindu, or like you're supposed to meet someone else who's Christian, you know, it's taboo to be together, or you're not allowed to date anyone who's your superior in work, or, you know, there's maybe reasons why this wasn't okay or acceptable and therefore it was kept a secret. It doesn't have to be in a third party situation, but this person probably attempted to keep you interested, and wasn't able to. I'm not saying you gave up easily, but I think it just took you to your limit. You know, a plant in the cupboard can't thrive. Do you know what I mean? So it got too difficult, and so they lost you for a while. So it's someone that you were with, Taurus. They were in love with you and they were spiraling, because of the reason that you couldn't be together was, you know, this huge wall was in the way. And I think they tried to keep you interested for as long as possible, and lost you. And it's caused this tower, you know, and it could have been years. I'm not joking, like it takes years for people to, mostly by the time someone breaks up a marriage or moves country for someone, or does something like lets the family down and says, I've got to leave, I've got to be with this person. It could have been years, okay, since like this ended, and they've never forgotten about you. They've never got over it. The feelings are just as strong now as they were then. And they know that they're not going to be happy until they sort this out. And so whatever the situation is with this person, they want you back. I see you looking good and moving on. I don't care who you're talking to. I'm better. I will compete for you. Oh my God. Nothing's going to stop this person now. Absolutely nothing. They're sick of like other people contributing and piping up, butting in. They're sick of people giving their 2 cents. They're sick of the, you know, whatever the barriers were. why you couldn't be together, why this shouldn't be an option, doesn't matter anymore. That's all gone. They're going to pull everything down. This is the outcome, guys. This is the outcome. They're going to pull everything down that's in the way. I will compete for you. That's going to be the title for this one. What's the nature of this connection, please? Make the effort. This love is worth taking risks. You are called to move forward. I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with it. Taurus, you also need to meet this person halfway. You have broken hearts here. And they're changing their whole life for you. They know that you could have whoever you want. They know that. Protection. Create a safe space. Within this circle, you are protected and empowered. If you're worried about anything surrounding this connection, Taurus, you can ask your angels for protection. Okay, if anyone wishes you harm, you can say return to sender with love, please. Like, because you got to forgive other people for wishing you harm if this situation affects them. You know, that's highly likely that they're going to feel a kind of way about it. They may even act upon it, but this person is not going to let anything happen to you, and the divine won't let anything happen to you either. Okay, but you must make an effort if you want this person. Make yourself available to them. You know, listen to what they've got to say. Give yourself a minute, okay, to just take in what they're saying. Give them a chance to just deliver this message and present this offer to you, because they're very, very serious about you. Like, they're changing everything about their world for you. And they know that you could have anybody, okay? Like, it has to be you. If you stop resisting this connection, it's actually going to flow this time. Yeah, because Taurus, we can be sulkers, and it's, you know, it's because we're so emotional. We don't want to always say what's on our mind, or we hold back a lot on our feelings, and we kind of want assurance from the other person first, how they feel about things, or we find it very, very difficult to let go of stuff that's been said or done that we feel has let us down. You know, it's very hard for us because we just, when we take a hit, we take it hard, you know what I mean? We'd rather be in our own company than feel like we're banging our head against the wall or taking, you know, a knife to the heart or a knife to the back. We'd rather just be by ourselves and not have the drama. But this person not messing. If I follow you, I could lose everything. Okay, so that's what they were worried about before, is existing structures that were in place in their life, financial ones, emotional ones, practical ones. They could have had a lot of responsibility. It could have really affected their career, or, you know, the neighborhood or the community, social groups, other communities that they're a part of, like if you think about religious ones, or probably any and all of the above, you know. You've got lose twice. This is someone that you walked away from eventually because you just broke. It just broke you, like that they weren't, you know, they were like 1 foot out, or like they were like had you on string, you know. They've done what they needed to do. If there's one thing that this situation needed for it to be actually possible, they've done it. But it could be like every area of their fucking life. Oh, thank God. I thought it was all of them. Did you? I thought it was all of them. Let's move them. Okay, it's 2. A magical moment will change everything. Be ready. Like, actually. Like, actually stop. Oh my God. A magical journey is about to begin. Prepare yourself. Taurus, the thing that you want, the thing that you think is impossible, it's happening, baby. It's happening. They're making it happen. They're making it so. Right, let's get a divine timing. See, this could have already happened. It could be happening next week or around that time. But let's have a look. Okay, so for some of you, this is happening in April. So there's something to do with April that's significant. For me, that's significant because I know this person made the change that they needed to last April, and I wasn't aware. They weren't able to get in touch with me through the way that we would communicate. They weren't able to do that. So we kept missing each other. But it could be to do with next April, you know, bearing in mind they might be having to undo a lot of stuff or change circumstances, change their world, their community, their location, their legal situation. Think about all the things that could go down in April, because something significant is happening in April next year. Okay, if you liked this reading, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. Please hype me. I would really appreciate that. If you know someone who's a Taurus and you're like, shit, that's what's going on with them, please share this with them. You are welcome to stick around. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Right, on to Gemini. Spirit guides, the universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Gemini's highest good. How is Gemini feeling in the second week of September 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards for Gemini, please. How is Gemini feeling, first of all? Three of Wands reversed. Now, the Three of Wands, when it's upright, is after the planning phase, when we begin to take action. That's reversed. So you're stopping yourself from taking action on something or someone. The Ace of Wands reversed. Perhaps you've lost passion or desire or excitement for this situation, or perhaps something has got in the way. For example, when I was grieving, there was no way that I wanted to continue flirting with someone that I'd recently met. I wasn't in the frame of mind to be myself. Okay, I couldn't balance my emotions. So that's not anything to do with how I felt about that person. I just wasn't emotionally in control of myself. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but you've lost enthusiasm or motivation. It could be that you're just focused on other stuff right now. You could be tired. of this, because they're all wands, which is fire, passion, and energy, drive, motivation. You could have lost your libido, or you just decided you don't want this anymore, or you don't want love for a while. Or you're unable to take action. Maybe there's something you want, but you're not actuating it for whatever reason. But it seems to be the motivation, the drive. Four of Wands upright. You want stability. The Four of Wands is the four walls to a house or the four legs to a chair. It's the most stable number, 4. You know, if you're living together, if you're married, it's a very public situation. It's a very strong, you've declared to everyone in the town that you are going to be together. It's clear by the commitment that you've moved in together. It's clear by the commitment that you've married, either and, or all of the above. I just need to plug my charger in. Okay. Perhaps you feel that you've attained stability, security, balance, harmony, and you don't want anything to upset the apple cart, or you don't want any drama. Maybe you're worried about upsetting kids that you've got, because this is a very or maybe you're not prepared to settle for anything less than the best, like you want someone that wants to get married again, or you want someone that wants to move in together, because some people are like, never again, never get married again. Some people are like, I'm never living with anyone again, I always want my own place, because they're just tired of the drama. They feel like, that hopeless romantic, the naive optimism is gone in them, and they just can't do it. And they're just like, I've worked to get my own place, I've worked to have my own peacitude, and I'm not giving it up now for anyone. I'll always have this. Even if I get into a relationship again, I'll always have this as my space, my place, you know what I mean? So you may have got to a point where you're comfortable sort of in what you've currently got. That's all wands, like all fire, but it's weird because the wands are reversed. You're stopping yourself on taking action on some sort of plan, and it's like you've lost the enthusiasm for it. And then there's this card of like the Four of Wands, which is the 1111 card, and it's about having a house, a home, or a serious, like marriage, absolutely rock solid stability. Maybe you're already in this situation, but I see, if you were in this situation, you didn't want it anymore and it was unstable, I'd see it like that, but I'm not. It's upright, so that's why I feel like you don't want anything to disturb your peace or the peace of your children, or you don't want to relocate. To me, there's just certain non-negotiables, isn't there? And it's like, fuck off then. Right, let's see for your person, the one that's on your mind, the one that you're dealing with or manifesting in the future. They've got the Hanged Man reversed. So when the Hanged Man is upright, it's someone that's willing to see things from your perspective as well as their own, or willing to take advice from others to see things from their perspective even. But this person's only willing to see things from their point of view, okay? Because it's reversed. Now, this is to do with a soul tie, a soul connection. and an urgent message that they want to communicate something with you, and it's got to happen like yesterday. Like, this person cannot wait to tell you something. And it could be someone that you've had someone that you've known for many years, you know, or that you're in a relationship with, that's kind of public, everyone knows about it. Or this person has fallen for you and sees you as very high value, because this is a card of good luck, nostalgia, you know, feeling like someone's a soulmate. This person has got something to say and it can't wait, and they're very stubborn about it. They will only see things from their perspective, and it's to do with a soulmate. The Hierophant reversed with the Five of Wands reversed. Now, the Five of Wands upright is arguments, internal conflict, external conflict. So internal is you having mixed emotions about something, or in this case, it's their side of the reading. So they would have, if this were upright, mixed emotions about something. They might feel like it's not very sensible, not very wise. Okay. Or it could be other people. It could be external conflicts. So friends and family, colleagues, bosses saying, "Oh, I don't think you should be doing that. You know, do you really want to like do that?" This way round, they don't want drama. They want to avoid drama. Okay. Because the Five of Wands reversed is that I don't want conflict. I don't want drama. They may feel like it's wise to avoid drama, or they don't want to be sensible anymore and avoid drama. They need to speak out. There's definitely a message coming from someone that views you as a soulmate. They're very stubborn about this. They can only see things from their perspective, from their point of view. They've got something to say. It's not going to wait. And I think they're tired of, you know, trying to avoid arguments. I hate to say it, guys, but I'm getting like X vibes. I'm getting X vibes. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's someone that's in love with you and not told you. But they view you. They must know you already, if that's the case. Like, they haven't just met you. Like, they already know you. Like, they've known you for many years. They view you as like almost like family, you know, because they just have such a high regard for you. Like, there's nostalgia there. So it's like it's someone that knows you very, very well. Is going to deliver an urgent message, and they're very, very like fixated on that. What's in the outcome? This is in the challenge position. The Lovers. Your major arcana. So it could be that you feel like unsure about something, or it could be that you don't know whether you want a connection anymore. You don't know whether you want to marry anymore. You don't know how you feel about this person. And yet they're like, no, we need to marry, or it's off. You know, like there could be some sort of ultimatum to do with, you know, they want to move in or it's off. Like there's going to be some sort of like message delivered. Let's get two more for the outcome. But maybe you want to keep your autonomy and they want something more traditional, you know, or you want something traditional and they want to keep their autonomy. You know, they might say, look, just because I don't want to get married again doesn't mean I'm not in love with you, or just because I don't want to get married ever doesn't mean I'm not in love with you or serious about you. There's some sort of talk about stability, about 3D realities, you know, assets, houses, marriage, engagement. There's something heavy because the Hierophant is the major arcana for Taurus, but it's also it can be a marriage card, you know, like the sense of vows, weddings, marriages, proposals. I think they're in love, but maybe they don't want to get married and they don't want to argue about it. And maybe you're like, well, I want security and stability. I don't want something frivolous. A third party situation could have been exposed. With the Three of Cups, it can point to a third party situationship. Okay, someone being involved outside of marriage, being brought into a situation. Or it could be that there just isn't a cause to celebrate at the moment. Okay, not coming together with community, isolating ourselves, keeping stum, you know, laying low, not meeting everyone for drinks or, you know, turning down invites, just keeping back. Temperance reversed. Now, the Temperance is the major arcana for Sagittarius. This is about emotional balance. She's pouring from one cup into the other to make everything just right. Look how pretty that is. Just right, you know, nice and stable. Because the Archer, which is the symbol, the zodiac for Sagittarius, the Archer is trying to shoot and aim, you know, and they can't do that if their head's all over the place or their heart's all over the place or they're distracted emotionally. So they're always trying to find balance, find equilibrium, and there's no emotional balance or equilibrium here. That's what they're going to tell you. Why do they feel like that? Why are they being like so stubborn and only seeing things from their point of view? Do you know what I'm thinking now? This could be someone that you were married to and you separated from. You know, because they've known you for many years, they know you very well. And they're going to deliver some sort of truth. And it could be that you've not been attending like family dues, or, you know, like when you're separated, but you're like part of the family because you have kids and there's some sort of like celebration that maybe you've turned down an invitation to, or you've like held back, or you're being preoccupied with other stuff. You could have dropped the ball on things with the best will in the world. Why the family are like, hang on, why are we having a party without Gemini? Why are we celebrating this without Gemini here? It could be that as well. Or it could be that this person's been kept like, you know, in the dark, like a third party, and they don't want to be in that kind of, it's just like, I'm not doing that anymore, like some sort of ultimatum. Someone wants change with whatever you've been doing, to keep your own security and your own stability. They need change, okay? They're going to throw down the gauntlet. Negativity. Like a dark cloud above, you are depressed, extreme moods. It could be really like, you know, really fed up, really angry or down about this. Dance of Souls, be vulnerable and let your two hearts intertwine. They're gonna open up, but it could be like more straight talking than being emotionally vulnerable, and perhaps they, would have more success if they just calmed down a bit and spoke from the heart. Outdated, discarded, outdated, irrelevant, old news. Someone feels that they've been discarded, that they've been made irrelevant, that they're being treated like that old news now. Someone that you've known for a long time. Let's get the unspoken truth. Your past shapes you, but it doesn't define you. I won't lie, I still check up on you sometimes. Oh my God. You've got like a creeper, you know. You know what a creeper is? A creeper is someone that you've dated, had a relationship, or been married to many eons ago. And they just keep like stalking you, and they'll slide into the DMs somehow or contact you somehow, and it'll be so out of nowhere. And you're like, we haven't spoken for 10 years, and you're like trying to get my attention. Like, what the hell? Nervous. You make me nervous. Even just thinking about you, I get nervous. I'm not sure what to say or how to act around you. It's a bit bloody intense, isn't it? Unbreakable love. This person has genuine love for you. You can overcome any issues that may arise. There's an ex that wants your attention. I think you've had a relationship with them. It's someone you had a relationship with, and it wasn't a false start. You lived together, or you were married, and they've never forgotten about you. They check up on you on your social media, or they ask around in the local community, or they watch a channel if you've got a channel. Like, somehow they're getting information and updates about you. They're in love with you and they want your attention. That's what they're going to do. If you don't reach out to them, they're going to reach out to you. I've been getting, this makes more sense now, because I've been getting these like weird ass readings for Gemini for like months now. and it's like something you're like not really interested in. You know what I mean? Like, you're not into it. And I thought it might be an ex, but I was thinking more like ex-spouse is annoyed with you for some reason. Someone you still got to deal with because of kids. But I think it could be someone that's simping over you that you actually had a full-on relationship with, but you know, when you like have outgrown it because it's been like 10 years or something, or like a really long amount of time, and you're like, nah, you're not into this, I don't think. Visions. Look within, Francis. Your inner visions hold profound insights. If you really get the ick off this person, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be involved with them. You don't even have to answer messages. You're not obliged to. It's like people think that because you once had a relationship with them, you are obliged to answer to me. You're obliged to spend time with me. You're obliged to talk about and update me on everything you're doing. You're not obliged to do anything. You can block them. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be my title. Because if you wanted this, your Ace of Wands would be upright. And that sounds phallic, but I didn't mean... Sounds like an innuendo, that, but I didn't mean it to be. Your Ace of Wands would be upright if you wanted this, right? And it's reversed. And you don't want any drama, you don't want any instability, and you are not taking action, you are laying low. You've gone into the midnight zone. You've become an anglerfish in the midnight zone of the Mariana Trench. You laying that low, oh my god. It could be your intuition that's telling you to do that as well. A mystical force is guiding you, trust in its wisdom. How cool is that? You've got visions. These are from different oracle decks. There's a crystal ball in both of these. That's creepy in a good way. I like that. Look within for answers. Your inner visions hold profound insights. A mystical force is guiding you, trust in its wisdom. Your past shapes you, but it doesn't define you. They're checking up on you. Fine, like whatever. You know, until I block your ass, or until you don't have to feel bad about doing that. People delude themselves. They absolutely delude themselves. It's like, what are you on? Seriously. And it could be that they treated you badly or break your heart at the time. It could be that it's just been that long that it's completely irrelevant because you have changed like 10 times the person that you are. You've lived so many different experiences. You are not the person. They would meet up with you and you just cannot relate to them like at all. Because maybe they haven't ascended, maybe they haven't changed, maybe they haven't done anything with themselves. Some people don't leave their own bloody backyard, do you know what I mean? And you've lived all over the world, or you've like changed careers, you know, travelled, lived in other countries. It's just like you just can't relate to them like at all. And they're just reminiscing about the past because it's like a safety zone for them, like a comfort zone. You know, they're going through the highlight reel and they're feeling horny and no one's interested in them or something like that. Just no. Like, you can flirt with people if you want to flirt with people. You can get back with people if you want to get back with people. But you don't want to. You're so not into this, like, at all. And there could have been drama. There could have been trouble because there's something like to do with a house and a home and stability that you're just like, nothing's changing what I've got for myself now. There could be a gold digger. There could be drama. Really difficult to deal with emotionally, or like you're just not into it anymore for whatever reason, like just don't fancy it. It's something to do with enthusiasm and drive and passion, like there's just a lack. You just don't want it. They might have genuine love for you, but it doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship with them. You're not obliged to have a relationship with someone because they care about you or they think that you should be with them. It's not. No. Let me see when you're getting someone new. Okay, so what you need to do is set your intention, okay, and then you need to surrender it to the divine and let them get to work. So have a think about what kind of person you want, what qualities you want them to have. Is there anything that you want to avoid in a person? Like if the last person that you dated was like hella unpredictable, or they were a liar, or they had some sort of addiction, if they just had like a really different sex drive to you, or there was infidelity, or like something that you really wish to avoid. If you found someone really dull and you're a creative, or you're logical and you're not a creative at all, and you're just really not into the same things they're into, what is it that you wish to avoid? I would look for that first, okay? Make a list of things that you like. That's non-negotiable. I'm not being a nun or a monk. I'm not. Or if if you're not interested in that, you just want companionship, that's fine. There's other people that are not interested in that and they're looking for companionship. You just need to think about what you want and what is non-negotiable, and then you ask out loud and you say, Spirit, this is what I want. Angels, this is what I want, and I'm going to surrender it now. And then you focus on your career, you focus on your hobbies, you focus on your community, loved ones, your own projects, and it will evolve, But you don't have to entertain whoever this is that's obsessing and simping over you. You don't feel bad about blocking them, okay? Because they're actually taking a liberty by wasting your time getting in touch with you, making you feel uncomfortable. It's been how long, and they think that they're gonna distract you because they're so irresistible or they're so relevant to you. You're irrelevant to me, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I've had that with friends as well, just like, no, a friend dumped you for a reason. Like, you're not someone that I worry about, that I spend time thinking about at all. Like, it's a relief. Okay, so whoever this is, and this is a love reading, so it will be someone that you've previously dated or had a relationship with. I would say you're in love when you were together. It's not just screwing around, but no. No. You do not worry about, or I'm a jerk if I don't let them see my Facebook, or if I block them, they'll realise and they'll be upset. Who fucking cares? They need to build a bridge and get over it. There's, 9.5 billion people in the world, and they're banging on your door. Come on. What are we doing here? Why are we... Would I ever go and bang on the door of someone who I know doesn't want to get back with me, who I know a million years ago was relevant to me, and we haven't spoken for 8 years, 18 years. I am not doing that. There's so many people in the world. You meet people that you gel with in work. You meet people, I go to pottery. I've met, like, I know that I've met 2 people that I'm gonna keep in touch with for the rest of my life because we are soul twins. Find someone that's relevant to you and fuck off. Do not knock on my door. Don't slide into my DMs. Don't try and add me on social media because we don't know each other anymore. We knew each other then. We knew each other then, and I don't regret what happened back then. But you are, I don't know what I don't know what to call it, but you're like tripping, like thinking, it's like they're shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it? Like they're picking out of what they've already gone through. And I'm not talking about your go-to people, because that's mutual. You mutually want to meet and get it on. Like, that's mutual. But people who give you the ick, even though when you were like 17 or 18, you were in love with them, trying to come in when you're like 40 and put the tentacles out, it's just no. Like, I don't know you anymore. Like, all I know is who you were back then, and that's all you know about me. And you might admire me, you might appreciate me, you might think I look good or I've blossomed, all this and that. But I don't feel like that about you now. I don't want you anywhere near me. Do you know what I mean? Like, ooh. And it's not because I'm a bitch or this or that. It's just I don't have those feelings for you anymore. And I've become a different person every 5 years. I've done things with my life that have changed my brain shape. Like, I've built a new schema. I look at the world in a different way. I remember how you were towards me, and I don't feel in my heart the way that I felt about you. It broke my heart what you did, and I no longer access happy emotions to do with that. I can access nostalgia, but I don't need to talk to you to access those memories that I have. I'm grateful you were my first. That's just a classic. Like, your first comes back every like 5 or 10 years, trying to like get a free lay because no one else is interested or something. It's like, ew, I don't see you like that anymore. And actually, you're shooting fish in a barrel, aren't you? You're not even trying to like get some new blood. What are you doing, mate? Just no. I just went off on one then, but I just get the ick from this. I really do. Ew, they're like quivering over you and stuff. It's just, I'm going to stop it because it's wrong. Right. Yeah. Decide what you do want. Decide what you don't want. Say it out loud and surrender it. Okay. There's no like special way to manifest. It's just you say out loud what you want. Do it in the car on your way to work. Do it, in your room. Do it in the bath. Like, just, your conversation with spirit is like omnipresent. It's continuous. It's not like they won't get the memo. Right, we're getting out of this vibe. I'll do Cancer, and then I'm going to break to eat something and, look after my basic needs, and I'll come back. It's like the audacity of, like, I just can't get off this now, but like the audacity of thinking, he was like this guy that I'm thinking of, my first. That was lovely at the time. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you get to like put your hands on me now. It doesn't mean you get to like speak to me in a kind of way or look at me in a kind of way or claim association, success by association because I'm successful, or attractiveness by association, or kudos for like sleeping with me by association. Like, ew, like, go and do stuff with your own life and like realize that we don't have anything in common anymore. Like, I don't regret that you were my first, but you ain't gonna be my last. Just no. Absolutely not. And they're just like trying to give you the smolder and like put their hand down on the seat when you go to sit down in the cinema, and you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, yeah, but it's you. And I'm like, no, I like was actually spending time with you because I felt bad for you or whatever. It sounds like I'm a proper bitch, but it's just like the audacity of trying to put your hands on someone in that way when it's been years and you kind of mercy meeting up with them to just not be a cow or whatever. And then they do that and it's like, oh. That hasn't happened by that person recently. It was like, my first was when I was 17. We were together for a year. It's proper serious. He ended it because he wanted to hang out with his friends again or whatever. Thought it was going to be some sort of don. Do you know what I mean? So there's latent anger there. And then I met up with him like a few years later. And yeah, he used me for sex for a while after, even though he knew I was still in love with him. It was that fucking hurt. And then a few years later, when I wasn't angry anymore and I'd gone out with other people and time had passed, I hung out with him just because I felt like it had only been a few years, but I didn't want anything to do with him in that way. It was just like, felt a bit bad, you know, and he wanted to hang out, so I hung out. And then he was just trying it on, and I thought, you're a prick. So I just want to give you the context, do you know what I mean? But then he tried it again, like another 5 years later. And he's like, I always knew you were going to be something like special. And I thought, fuck off. No thanks to you. All you've done is like upset me and try dating other people unsuccessfully. So I don't take that as a compliment. And like anything I've achieved in my life is down to me despite you hating me. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, just because I felt I was coming across bad then. Wait, I'm shutting up now. Oh, to be young again? No thanks. I'd rather be the age that I am now. Happy for the wisdom and the wrinkles. Do you know what I need down now? Like slipper boots. I really need. Like, I get really cold feet. I love these nails that I got. I'm going to order some more. These are like coffee coloured. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Cancer's highest good. How is Cancer feeling in the second week of September 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Cancer, first of all, please. Did something turn over then, or? I think it flipped back again, didn't it? Okay, that is conclusive. We've got a combination of the Page of Swords reversed with the Knight of Wands reversed. Ooh, if you put someone on block, you've put someone on block. Because if they're upright, that is being very, very sexually attracted to someone and wanting to date them for sexual reasons. And then Page of Swords is like, you know, curiosity, like I want to get to know this person more. Like, okay, fancy the pants off them, but I'm actually intrigued by like everything about them. Like, are they single? What have they done in their career? Like, what are their hobbies? what they into, you know, what makes them tick, like how are they thought of by like the people around them. That would be like very positive. But this way, it's like see, if that was like that, I could say that it's over the top, like sexual desire, and then, you know, trying to sort of like gather information. But that's like, I don't want to know. I'm blocking someone. I don't want updates on them. And I've lost my desire for this. Maybe you feel like someone treated you like an option, so you're just like, oh, you know, block their ass. Or they hurt your feelings somehow, or let you down somehow. So it's like, oh, if I have an argument with someone, there's not a chance that sex is coming into the equation. Like, not a chance. I don't believe in angry sex. Like, I'll probably like scratch you on something. Just no. 7 of Wands reversed. That's feeling like someone's made a fool of you, like you're a victim, like they took advantage. You weren't in control, you didn't have the high ground. King of Swords is masculine. Oh, what's this as well? The Hermit. Was that there already, or... Oh. Well, either way, there's a need for isolation, contemplation, deep introspection. The answers lie within you. A lot of the time when someone doesn't see your value or doesn't choose to value you, when they treat you like an option, they let you down, they do like a dick move, it's something going on with them, okay? They could be getting operated by someone, they could already be obliged to someone else, they could have issues from childhood that are projecting onto you. It's never really that you're not enough, okay? But of course, it hurts us as if we aren't enough. And sometimes we worry, you know, like, why did that happen there? Like, am I choosing bad people? For some reason, guys, there's loads of 2s across my screen, like on the amount of time that we've been on, 2, 2, 2, 2 people and 2 likes. So check out the angel number 222 or 22 and see what that means. The Hermit card. There's a need to isolate yourself and go inwards. The King of Swords is upright. It's masculine energy with it being a king, and that's about taking control, being logical, being truthful, being a person of integrity, thinking about the community, delivering truth, fairness, justice. It's air energy, okay, like heavy Aquarian energy. And it's all about being a strategist, using intelligence, using facts, using knowledge, being a mentor. You know, planning phase is long for air signs. They're not spontaneous. They don't make a move, you know, like just like that. By the time this person makes a move, it's been something that's been in the pipeline for like 7 months or something. Do you know what I mean? Or 7 weeks. Like, this person is a planner. They will do all their research. Knowledge is power to a King of Swords. They like information. They're not going to act without the facts, without the truth. And kings, any kind of king does not move quickly. It's like a very secure person, like very grounded, very, you know, perhaps they've got a big ego, perhaps they've got a lot to lose. Perhaps they enjoy to be wise and think things through and move with intelligence and integrity. It's your card, it's on your side of the spread, so you wish to move with intelligence and integrity, okay, and that means not moving quickly. Someone could have tried to rush you, so you've chopped the ankle, so, you know, swiped at the horse's ankle to make this Knight of Wands like fall down. Like, no you don't, mate. They've got the Four of Cups reversed, so they are open to offers of love. They're emotionally available after a period of being emotionally unavailable. They're curious, you know, about a new connection. This person's looking for excitement. They're naively optimistic. They're looking for new love, okay? It's very clear from both of those cards. Right, we've got a combination of the King of Pentacles upright, the King of Wands upright, the Two of Cups reversed, and the Eight of Cups reversed. This person is not going to let go without a fight. They've got two kings on their side. You've got a king on your side. So it's double masculine energy. They're very determined and they've got the finances to... I don't really like how that is, actually. They've got the finances to... do a lot. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Earth and fire. It's a relatively new connection, but from two people who are quite mature, quite established. So you could both have really good jobs. You could both work hard, be confident, but this person doesn't want to give up. They don't want to let go. They feel like, you know, you two fell in love. But I just feel like they're thinking in a practical sense and in a passionate sense, enthusiastic. You're thinking in a factual, intelligent kind of way, like a strategic kind of way, and you feel at a disadvantage. You feel the need to isolate yourself, and you've really lost like passion and enthusiasm, and you don't want to know. So I just feel like you've been hurt by something. It's like giving me a roundabout kind of what the vibe is there, like you want to act with logic. Okay, the King of Swords is about logic. It's not about heart. It's head over heart decisions. They are not using their heart either. They're using passion, but also they think you would be a good match, like financially. Okay, so with Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, they are go-getters, and this person thinks you would be a good financial match for them, and so that is boosting their ego. They don't want to give up on this. But there's something that you Maybe you're just not into it anymore, but you're acting with intelligence, with the facts, with the truth. You're not going to be rushed into anything. You're trying to be logical about something. And it's something fairly new. Because I would say that people are married when they show up as court cards, but for some reason, I don't think you are, because you've got Page of Swords, and they've got Page of Wands. And then you've got Two of Cups. It was like you were dating. And then I feel like they're into it and you aren't. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you're a king because you've got a house, or you've got a great job, or you're just a really responsible person that's quite mature, and you don't, knights kind of gallivant around, pages stand still and gather information, kings sit and they make slow, assured movements after research with wisdom and with, intelligence. They move slow because they're very secure in themselves. They're very steady. Let's get 3 for the outcome. Okay, these are a combination. So these count as 1. Growth and expansion with the work tools and the 8 of Pentacles, increments of time, money and energy, but we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So we haven't got good luck. There's something that we're trying to work towards, but luck is not on our side when it comes to finances. Judgment reversed and the King of Cups. We've got 4 kings here. But it's like across the 2 of you, it's so much masculine energy. Each person's trying to be in control. King of Cups is emotional intelligence, and that's upright. Yeah, the ability to forgive, to be patient. Okay. Maybe patience has something to do with it, because we've got working to build and grow financially. There's a lot of outgoings, okay, financially right now. Or something isn't ready financially right now. The Judgment is ignoring a call to action, and it's because we're trying to be emotionally intelligent, patient, stay calm. I do feel like you're trying to stop yourself from acting too impulsively here. It's head over heart. Let's get 2 more for the outcome. They can feel you pulling back from this, Cancer. It's making them really restless with the 4 of Swords reversed. This is taking much needed respite, having a break from something. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take a break. They don't want to calm it down, slow it down, wait. They don't want to do that. They feel like you two would make a good, a smart match or whatever. I think they're in a rush to build up, their ego, their status. Fire signs are very concerned with ego and status. Earth signs like security. They could have earth and fire in their chart. So the last card out is the 8 of Wands, which is progress, fast action, progress, fast communication. There's going to be swift changes here. You're different kinds of people, which means that you're on very different pages. You're like, we need to do head over heart here. And I've got the patience. To wait till we're both financially ready, or till there isn't lots and lots of outgoings, or there's a better opportunity to do this level up. They're worried that you're not in love with them, and that's why you're not going for this, like, immediately. But you may just be like, well, what's the rush? If you're waiting to move ahead on something with someone who's fairly new, you're both quite established. To be fair, some people decide to move more quickly when they're older because they just think, well, I haven't got forever and I'm not a kid that needs to ask, parents to like say yes or no, I can go out with someone. Maybe your clock is ticking. But if you're waiting for some sort of Ace of Pentacles, like the right job in the right location, or you're waiting for a promotion or a loan, or I don't know, it seems like you're waiting on something. There will be progress. In the outcome, you've got progress. But I think they're worried that you're trying to, that they're going to lose you. They don't want to lose you. They don't want to lose you. I think they're taking it as that, like, you're not into it or you try to avoid commitment, but you're not. You're just trying to do head over heart for a while. Avoid, being impulsive. And it's to do with money, assets, houses, jobs. Think of all the 3D stuff. It's to do with that. Okay. Well, why are they in such a rush? Ooh, sneaky snake. Going behind your back, deceitful swindler. I don't like that, do you? If anyone's trying to rush you into anything, that's a massive red flag. Major red flag. If anyone's trying to rush you into any sort of commitment, it's a major red flag. You don't really, you're infatuated for 6 months. You can be in love for the first 2 years, and then after that, it's usually like the 3-year itch for me, like something starts going haywire at like 3.5 years. So I probably wouldn't choose to marry someone until after that. I'm like, if we're still okay after that, okay, do you know what I mean? And to me, like, getting a house together and stuff like that is really, like, you can rent, can't you? And have a relationship for 3 years and then get a house and get married. But to just go straight into it, like, how many people do you know that have gone straight into getting a house together and then they're having to, like, divide it all? And it's just like, people think they want it because it's linked to status and ego and like, oh, we're getting a house and like I look like a proper grown up and like, you know what I mean? And then suddenly the day before they're supposed to move in, I met so many people now that have been like, we were house hunting and they freaked out, or like the day before we were due to move in, it's all signed and everything, they freaked out and pulled out and we're over. Like, I can't tell you how many people that's happened to that are female, where the guy's fucking freaked out. You can get it the other way though as well, where they're just rushing you down the aisle, rushing you to get pregnant, rushing you to get a house together, because they can't pay the mortgage or they're not able to get a mortgage themselves. And we all do a bit of that, but if they're going to bring pure drama, it's usually after rushing you into some sort of major commitment that can't easily be undone. So if anyone's rushing anything, no. Taming anger. Don't roar in arguments. Respect can heal wounds. They're being a bit sneaky. Don't forget, you can be on a good salary and still have debt. You can be on a good salary and still have addiction. You can be on a good salary and be handsome and still be a cheater. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to look at the whole picture and know this person is stable. And you're not going to know that in the first 3 to 6 months. You're not going to know that in the first 2 years. Well, sorry, you will know that they're stable in the first 2 years, but you're not going to know if it's just being in love and having a nice relationship. You need to kind of be together for like 3 years or so to know if you're going to stay being in love, or you're going to stay being interested, or they're going to start to like react to life's problems in a way that you totally wouldn't. And you're like, what? You know, how you deal with major things that come up in life is what shows whether you're going to make it through 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. Until major shit comes up, how would you know what you're made of as a couple? Do you know what I mean? It's fine to like be in a relationship for a couple of years, be all loved up and think like, this is me now, but how many people have realised that's not the case, like within another 12 months, within another 2 years? What they might do is they might get arsey with you and argue with you, or get frustrated and angry, you know, impatient, because fire signs can do that. They might start to say things, you know, to like bully you a little bit. Okay, I am a bit worried with this card coming up. There could be someone who presents very well, but there could be someone who has a bad temper, and usually people have a bad temper and they smash things up because you're not playing ball, you're not doing what they need you to do. So I'm a little bit worried by that, to be honest, because we've got sneaky snake and police, and then we've got anger. The truth is more complicated than you think. The stuff you don't know about this person. What you're searching for may not be what you truly want. Fucking hell. I won't touch this with a barge pole, guys. Drop it like a hot rock. Just because your finances improve or you get some sort of offer on something doesn't mean you can't change your mind. If you know, if you secure an agreement for something, you don't have to keep going with it just because a contract has been signed. Yes, it's inconvenient to undo getting a house with someone. Yes, it's inconvenient to undo a pregnancy, or inconvenient to undo a marriage. But you don't have to do anything just because you started down a road. If you find out someone's becoming violent or trying to intimidate you or become abusive in any way, sexually, financially, emotionally, physically, you haven't got to keep doing anything. You're not too far down the line. They won't let go easily, though. They'll be hanging on to your coattails like there's no tomorrow. But people like this always have multiple, you know, they've probably got 6 or 7 people they cycle around. So don't think that you're special because they picked you. You're probably a functioning person, and that's why they picked you, you know what I mean? In which case you're not low value and you're not stupid, but You're stupid to stay in it. Get the fuck out. Look. Playing games. I'm telling you now, we've done 3 zodiac signs so far, and they all had really romantic, positive stuff coming out. Actually, sorry, the last one wasn't, was it? The Gemini one was like icky. But these are like, half of these are positive and half are negative. This are playing games. Angry, police, sneaky snake. I don't like it. It's just confirmation after confirmation. There's stuff, they're a liar. There's stuff that you don't know about them and what they get up to. And that you think that you want something and then you realise that you really fucking don't. Okay. That's what's gonna go down here. Time to ground yourself. I still don't have all the answers, but you don't. I'm in so much pain. Oh, where is me? Going on about themselves and how it affects them. They love to do the victim mindset. I'm telling you now, this is a narcissist. This is a toxic narcissist. They'll be all charming and all lovely, and they'll tell you lies to make out like their situation is beautiful. I brought up my son. I have a really good job. I'm friends with everyone. Okay? You get involved with them, and then they're going around bad mouthing you to everyone, saying you're always asking them for money. Other people tell you they're sleeping with other people. They're using prostitutes. They're on drugs. They've got weapons. This person is toxic, guys. They're violent. They'll cry. They'll constantly cry or like ring you up because this is how they keep you engaged, you know, like stop you losing interest or meeting anyone else. It's a sneaky snake. We've got 5 cards telling us that. You need to teach people how to treat you by being clear on what you will or won't allow. Guys, like, I'm very worried about this one. You're either going through this right now or you're going to be going through this right now, but they're not going to let go easily. They're really not. Narcissists do something called hoovering, so they will use their friends, their family, their own children, their own parents, their siblings, step-siblings, neighbours, fucking people in the local village or town. They will get other people who seem like, you know, lovely, normal people that you like. Well, if they like him or if they like her, maybe they're not totally bad, or we did have really good times together. These people, I can't get away from this person because they have to be involved with them somehow. They're in their immediate environment and they can't get away from this person. Okay, so this person is someone who's likely been to prison before and hasn't told you. Because remember, it said the secrets that you don't know about. They're a sneaky snake. They're a liar. They're violent. They're very manipulative. Okay, they'll cry. They'll like tell you sub stories and it'll be fucking made up shit. They'll twist it. They'll tell you what happened, but they'll swap the characters around. They're always the victim. They will flat out lie about their circumstances, flat out lie about addictions, flat out lie about criminal records, flat out lie about who it was that didn't bring up the child or why they weren't around. Okay, it's because they were serving time. Like, this is a no good person. It's a gold digger. They could have a good job, but it doesn't matter if they're still using up your money. Okay, you can have a narcissist that has a really good job and they earn a lot of money, but they're burning through drugs, prostitutes, gambling, they're reckless with money, and they want yours. They want your money. You can have a really good job and have massive debt, massive addiction. You can have loads of stuff. You could just have this, dark side in you that wants to get one over people, that loves to lie, that loves to get away with stuff. It's a very insidious person. I don't like it. Get away from it, okay? Whatever you need to undo it. And undo it quickly. Because you'll get dragged into whatever they're doing that's illegal. Of course, you can get out of this. You can definitely still get out of this, okay? Whatever it is that's being done can be undone. What you're gonna have to do to get rid of a narcissist is go cold turkey with anyone, and I mean it, anyone that is associated with them, whether they're just a friend of theirs, whether they're a family member, even if that person you got on really well with them. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to. It's like a cancer. It is like a cancer, and they want to believe that that person's going to change, and they want to, help them no matter how many times they screw them over. They won't know the depth of all the lies that are being told. The narcissist that I had wasn't just telling lies about me. They were lying to me about every one of the people in their life, people that gave birth to them, people that they fathered. They were like breaking all kinds of laws. They were sponging off everyone, even though they had like a good job. And you just wouldn't believe, honestly. You would not believe. There's no boundaries whatsoever. No truth. Everything's twisted. And this person could be so charismatic, so romantic, so poetic, so thoughtful. It was like very love bomby. So you're so confused and like blinded at the beginning, and it's not stupid. It's usually when you're in a really vulnerable place and this like person swoops in and they're really handsome or like, a kind of way. And then they're just like, I want to take care of you. We're going to have the best life together. Only you, like, you just can't believe your luck, It's not a good person. My God, they've got a dark side, and it's darker than you can imagine. Unfortunately, when they're exposed, and it's normally someone that knows them that exposes them to you because they recognise that you're a good person and you haven't got on to what this person's doing and what they're actually about, you'll feel betrayed on many different levels because you'll find out just what this person's been saying about you, doing to you, doing to other people. Mine had a warrant out for his arrest and had already served time, and I didn't know. And I can't tell you how many family meals were had, or how many times he'd been around my nephews, or how many times I'd gone and visited him and his family and his best friends and his cousins and everyone was so happy for us, and no one told me. No one told me that he had a record and that he had an active warrant out for his arrest. People, people protect. They protect. people like this because they've grown up with them, because they've got memories of them, because they're obliged to them, because they come back like a bad penny, you know, and they cry and they need help and they need money and they need somewhere to live. They give birth to them, you know, whatever, like they can't. He'd actually like, oh, it's so bad, like he'd lost all the money from his dad's business. He like did a runner with it and stuff. It's really, really bad. Herbs. Nature's gifts are abundant. Utilize herbs for healing and for magic. Okay. You may want to, you know, put herbs in food. You may want to grow them in your garden. You may want to put essential oils into a diffuser. Or it may be like, you know, like bath soaps and bath salts and things like that that are very like herby. Aftershaves, perfumes, just to have that aroma. Hand creams, you know, the essential oils, and some of those are really potent, and just to smell it. I've got a pillow spray that's lavender. I've got other sprays and lotions and things, and when I smell it, it just changes my mindset, you know what I mean? Because it's very stressful dealing with the fallout. I would say it's like a nuclear blast. The fallout is worse than what you thought was drama. The fallout, fucking, it's unimaginable, and it goes on and on and on as you find out more things being exposed. It's like one thing gets detonated, then another, then another, then another, and you just want it to stop. You're like, I don't want to know anymore. Please don't tell me any more things that this person's done to me or anyone else, because I can't. I feel like I'm going crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's just really upsetting. So you're being encouraged to use plants in a medicinal way to try to relax, to try to click yourself out of certain, you know, stress levels, mindsets. Obviously, in combination with finding other people to talk to, because everyone's associated somehow with a narcissist or has been the victim of a narcissist or knows someone who's been the victim of a narcissist. There won't be judgment. You'll be really surprised. You'll be embarrassed to tell them things, and I'll be careful about who you tell. But some people, they'll just make you feel normal again. You'll feel like you've grabbed onto a life raft and you've got loads of stuff off your chest, and it'll be really dramatic for you and an ordeal to like reveal stuff, but then you'll think, I'm going to be okay. Do you know what I mean? It's when you're keeping it all to yourself and you feel like you can't tell anyone, because, you know, if you tell the wrong people in work, you can't say it in a staff room or, you know, in an office, because people are going to hear and they're going to gossip about it in a negative way. But if you've befriended someone and you feel like you can trust them, or they've let on that they've dealt with a narcissist, then you know it's kind of safe to. Or, you know, if you've known someone for many years and they're already a confidant, you know, family, like open up to them, because they'll just be glad that you've woken up to it all. If anything, they'll have been fucking worried behind the scenes, like. And they've probably dealt with someone like that, and they'll just be ready. They'll be so ready to talk to you about it and be there for you, and they won't judge you. They'll just be like, don't worry, you're not the first and you won't be the last. You know, and let me tell you about something that happened to me. And, you know, this is how you get free. And then you just on social media and everything, and your phone, you block their phone number and anyone connected to them. You've got to, even if you feel like a bitch or a bastard doing it, you've got to. It's like a cancer. You gotta chop it all out. Your destiny is intertwined with the stars. Okay, so something that is beautiful is on its way. Okay, and it isn't this, but it's coming. A magical moment will change everything. Be ready. A mystical force is guiding you. Trust in its wisdom. Okay, so you may get a bad vibe about this person, or you may start to see some things that you're like, I'm not happy with that, actually. That's really like crossing a line. Or there could have been a few things that were crossing a line. Yeah, trust your gut. What's your body telling you? If you feel nervous, if you feel like you're working on eggshells, if you can see a genuine pattern of like drama every few months, every few weeks, it'll escalate until you do something to get out of it, okay, and get away from it. If they're never good for money, if they're trying to rush you into stuff, you know, or certain things don't add up, question it, you know. And it's the people that are close to them. If you ask them on a level, they will tell you the truth, okay? But they've probably had to play happy families because this is what this person wants. They want all the characters to play their parts, okay? They want all the actors to be on stage, you know, and pull the puppet strings. And these people have been dancing this dance since day dot. You'll find that this person's always been like this from childhood. And these people constantly have to play ball because when they don't, things get smashed up, okay? There's shouting, there's screaming, there's things getting smashed up, so that they're walking on eggshells and they can't change the situation anyway. I'm going to get you a mindful message because I just think you're dealing with a lot at the moment. If this is resonating for you and Spirit gives advice to people who need it the most, so sorry if it's not resonating, but if it is, I'm going to get you an advice card. Get focused. To attract what I want, first I get clear on what it is that I desire. I envision it for a minute or more every day, feeling how it would feel to have this in my life, what I would do, how I'd react, and who I'd tell. I picture it all. Through my continual alignment with my desires, they begin to flow into my physical reality in divine timing. All right, and you've got fortune cards saying that that's what's written in the stars for you is still on its way, okay? You will be fine. All right, take care, Cancer. Been there, done that, okay, got the postcard. You'll be fine. Doesn't feel like you will, but you will. Take care. If you like this reading, if you found it helpful, please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost. Send it to anyone that you know is going through this right now. Give me a hype. Support the channel. It's a fairly new channel. I started it a year ago. Trying to get to 4,000 watch hours. I am going to be stopping for a little while so that I can have something to eat and, you know, go to the bathroom, have a little bit of a walk around, have a break, and then I'll be back on to do the next 4 signs, okay? I think a lot of like why this carries on for so long is you don't want to think that something's going to be over, but then it gets so awful that you want it over, but you're embarrassed, or you're like, I want my money back. Do you know what I mean? So it often goes on for longer than you actually want it to, and the person refuses to give up on you. But if they know that everyone knows in your family and you know, it's out and you've spoken about it and suddenly they haven't got everyone wrapped around the finger, that helps. Exposing is the answer. okay? Often people don't because they just feel fucking stupid. They feel so embarrassed and they're like, how did I do this? But I swear now, everyone around you already knows. They already got onto it ages ago. And they'll be so ready to have that conversation with you and so ready to help you and tell you what's happened to them, because you're never far away from a narc. Most people have come out the other side of it years ago, and they're just, you know, they've got that experience to give you. Like if they're a lot older, that's obviously more likely, but you can have someone the same age as you. Like I said, someone in my work was the same age as me, and she was like, told me a couple of things, and then I thought, I can tell her, do you know what I mean? Because she'd sort of like, you can sense, can't you? And then I told my parents, and they'd dealt with someone like that, and it'll go better than what you think, and you'll get your sanity back. Right, I'm going to turn off, and I'll be back in a little while. Okay.